Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shots Fired Podcast, DFW. As usual, and as always, you got your boy Big Joe.
Got your boy Two True.
You got your boy Julio the Don.
And your boy Jay.
We're going to start off tonight with what I'm excited and nervous to talk about, and that is the Cowboys versus the Miami Dolphins. We play the 3:30 game on Christmas Eve, I believe. Am
That
I
indeed
right?
we do.
Okay. And we are playing in Miami with a banged up Tyreek Hill. Fortunately or unfortunately for us, we'll find out. And I just want to go around and let's get right into it, man. Let's see what your thoughts and opinions are, and then we'll do our predictions at the end. We'll start with you, Trill. Let me know, man.
Always right,
What do you
too
huh?
true. Always right, too true.
Yeah, always right.
I can't help it. I'm like, done. Man, I think I think it's kind of hard to say, man. I'm not really scared of the Dolphins, to be honest. I know we joke a lot about the speed that they have. Um, I think that, you know, if Tyreek plays, we have to give help over the top, obviously, because we don't have anybody that can match that speed. I think Gilmore can neutralize Waddle. Um, the only issue that I see, or where I think we can win this game, is in the trenches, offense, defensive lines. The only issue that I see is that we have no linebackers at this time. We have hybrids.
We
We
got
have
Micah.
safeties playing linebacker. Nah, bro. Bro, outside linebackers, you might as well just call him a defensive end. That ain't nothing but a pass rusher. He's a
Right.
pass rusher. So we don't have a Van Der Esch. We don't have a hell for in the old days. We don't have a Sean Lee. We don't even have a Jalen Smith right now. I think we picked up Rashawn Evans to kind of fill in that role, but I haven't seen
I think
enough
he
of
played
him.
last week. He played last week.
I haven't seen enough of him. But when you factor in, because Miami's offense, they can run the ball, they can pass the ball. When you think
Mm-hmm.
about them running the ball,
Mm-hmm.
they run between the tackles. We need gap integrity, which we
Mhm.
struggle at, and we need to get off blocks. We can win this game as long as the offensive line shows up and protects that, because they'll be able to move their defensive line for the run game, and we'll win this game if the defensive line shows up and gets to Tua. Tua is not looking to run; he's looking to stay stationary, get to his ass. Um, and bro, look, I gave Big Mike some praise a couple weeks ago. I need that Big Mike to show back up, or he's going to revert back to McCarthy.
He's going to revert back to Michael McCarthy.
Just McCarthy. You don't even get your first name. But yeah, I'm not scared of Miami, man. I got nothing but respect for their team. I think that they're outstanding as far as the scheme, drawing up schemes, and getting players open. But I guess it's not really hard to get open when you got the fastest player in the league. But when you
Facts.
look at them in a whole and you see how their defense is played, you see how their offense has played, and you see the progression of Tua. Once he got that number one weapon, bro, you could almost say that they're the second best team in the league right now.
They've been rolling. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They goose
Mm-hmm.
egged the Jets last week, so
I mean, they have been rolling, but they've also stumbled. I think every NFL team this year has stumbled,
Of course.
and that's what kind of took the fear out of me facing the Dolphins was seeing their stumbles. But I'll move on to you next, Jay. What do you see with this game upcoming, and what do you think the key to success is for the Dallas Cowboys?
more of the same. The keys to success is actually showing up and actually playing, actually doing what you're supposed to do, doing your job on the field as football players. I don't want to hear any excuses of being sick and half the team was sick. At this point, it's just
Bro,
excuses.
it's something going around Dallas, bro.
I
I'm sick
no,
right now.
hey, you're a different story though. There's reasons why you're sick, but we won't get into that. But um, like you got to suck it up, bro. Either you want this or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. You know, if you want people to stop talking about you, Micah, I'm talking about you. If step up and play, everybody step up and play. Everybody has to do their job. Period. Um, it's a team game. I'm not putting blame on one person or another, but if it's more of the same that we saw last week, we're gonna lose a game. Point blank. Period. We will lose this game if we play like we played last week.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. If we come out flat like we did, offensively and defensively, we don't play
Bro,
well from behind. It's been duly noted repeatedly on this show
if we
that
play if we
we're
play
front
any
runners for
game,
sure.
if
and
we
we,
play any game the way we played last week, we stand no chance
No.
yeah,
at all.
I think we need to
Facts.
pedal to the metal early and stay on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, it was an okay run game last week, but it wasn't enough. That's not enough. Get Big Ferg involved. I guarantee you they don't have anybody to cover him or well, I don't think they have anybody to cover him, to tackle him size wise. So why not open it up with him across the middle? We didn't do any of that last week. None of it. And I know weather had a part to do with it, but at the same time, like, suck it up. So
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. I definitely agree with some of the points you made. It'll be refreshing to see Big Ferg and CD and Brandon Cooks getting involved. I do think that that is a major key to success. But I'll move it on to you, Julio. What do you think is the key to success, and what do you see happening in this game to give Dallas the edge?
I mean, for me, it's um, it's something that we talked about week to week, right? Making sure that we start fast. We don't fall back with the score. We don't play mediocre football or tentative football where we're trying to figure stuff out. Instead of doing that, let's just start fast and keep it rolling. A lot of the great points that T brought up. You know, a couple of things that do worry me is that, of course, everybody's seen for the last couple of weeks that, you know, if you run the ball on us, you can do something with that. So with them having Mossert and the rest of their running core that they have there, that's the only thing to me is I want to see the Cowboys adjust to where we can stop the run. Is that going to happen? I don't know. Depending on the defense that shows up, we might have a defense that shows up that's ready to go and ready to roll. Obviously, last week we didn't show up. We weren't there. We were non-existent. Uh, what's his name? Cooks for the Bills just basically took the ball and ran it on us all night long. That's what he did.
Boy,
You could,
boy.
I mean, all they really did was they managed the clock by running the ball consistently. And because we can't stop the run, other teams are starting to see that. So of course they're going to take a note out of that book and be like, well, hell, if they can't stop the run, let's just keep feeding the ball to our back and let him pound the rock until they give up. Kind of similar to what what's his name said, to where they hit you in the face and they just keep hitting you
Eli.
and don't stop. Yeah. So if they don't figure out a way to make that proper adjustment on the defensive side to be able to stop the run, we're in trouble. But if they're able to make those adjustments, if they're able to stand up to these bully teams, these so-called bully plays, and stop the run and make sure that we get those needed stops when we need them and cause turnovers that we're used to seeing turnovers from our defense, then I believe that, yeah, I don't have a problem with Miami. Tyreek is a little banged up. He's not too banged up, but hopefully that benefits us, kind of like what you said, Joe. And and I'm looking forward to seeing them bounce back as opposed to being the old version of the Cowboys that we're so used to where when we start going into the postseason or into the back half of the season, we just start to slump down slowly but surely. I don't want to see that Cowboy team. I want to see a Cowboy team that comes out hungry as ever, wanting to fight, wanting to get that win, and making sure that we secure our wins moving forward. That's what I want to see.
I think I think when we lost Big Hank, the Bills
Oh
noticed
yeah,
it, and we inserted that first round draft pick, Mozzie Smith, and you just see the drop off from there. And not to say that we lost that game versus the Bills because of Mozzie, because the entire team didn't play good.
yeah,
But Jonathan Hankins, he kind of shored up like that section of the field that he was playing
hmm
in versus the run this year.
yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you brought that up because that was going to be something that I dug into as far as keys to success for the Cowboys. Mostert and Achan definitely going to be getting a lot of touches. If I'm Miami, I'm running the rock until you show me that you can stop it, because that's what Buffalo did and we couldn't stop it. I watched Brian Baldy's breakdowns, and it's traps, counters, killing us, killing us
hmm
between the tackles. Not at the edge. I mean, I'm sure we got ate up around the edge, but between the tackles, we were getting just manhandled, and that's one of the hardest things to look at as a football team is as a man, when another man takes your will and says, "You telling me I can't move you? Damn that, I'm gonna move you," and he moves you.
I'm gonna show you.
hmm
Then what do? Now at that point you're emasculated, because it's like,
Yep.
damn, like I told him you ain't moving me, and he moved me,
To the side.
and
Get out of my
and
way.
I think Mozzie, Hankins, uh,
Osa,
Osa, and Gallimore. I think all those guys they need to play well. Like, we gotta have interior defense, because, like you said, T, we don't have the size at linebacker. We have Marquise Bell. I think we have Wanye Thomas.
Hold
yep,
on. Bell is a
we use,
linebacker?
Yeah,
yeah, we've
He's
been
a
using him as a
quote unquote
linebacker.
linebacker. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my word.
But that's because of the injury to Van
hmm
Der Esch,
Leighton.
Yeah, we're in
and
trouble.
we lost somebody else. I can't think of his name,
I
but
know Sam Williams is in there from time to time, but I
He's
don't know.
DN.
Yeah.
pass rush.
Yep. So
Like, we undersized on the back end. We
the,
really
the bottom line
undersized.
is this phrase came to my mind, and I was like, I'm definitely going to use that when we have our video, and that is, the Cowboys are light in the ass. That's just what it
hmm
is.
Yeah.
Very light in the ass.
Yeah.
Eddie George
And
said that about Ray Ray. Eddie George said that about Ray Ray.
and if you look at it, if your interior lineman can't keep a hold of the offensive line and keep them off those linebackers, what chance do those linebackers have at
None.
215, 220
None.
300.
None.
against a 320,
Man,
350-pound lineman?
Full speed. None.
None.
pancake.
And then not only are you not holding up that interior lineman for your linebackers, keeping them clean, but you're not maintaining your gap integrity. You're just kind of playing hero ball. Everybody's doing their own thing. We're not working together. And it looks like what you got last week. I know CD Lamb's got to be frustrated. He's been kind of quiet these last few games. Big Ferg couldn't get anything going. And like I said, I'm not going to take that as a bad sign last week. I'm going to take that as a bad game. I'm not going to take it as a bad sign, like, hey, that's where this Cowboys team is headed. But at the same time, like you said, Julio, you don't want to back into the playoffs. you don't want to, stumble your way in and see yourself looking at somebody like the 49ers in the first round or something like that if you fall like to the 6. So I do think that eventually the Cowboys are going to figure it out. You've got what, the Dolphins, the Lions, and then the Commanders.
Yeah.
Yep.
So these next 2 weeks definitely aren't going to be easy. And I'm not even going to say the Commanders are going to be a gimme just because they're looking to make a statement. If they can do anything they can to stop the Cowboys from getting where they want to be, they're going to do it. It's a division game. Those are always tough. I don't see Tua. If Tua gets time, that's the other thing. You have to make Tua get involved. If you can't stop the run, they'll eat you up. I think Josh Allen had single digit passes last week.
15
Like,
attempts.
how many?
15 attempts.
15 attempts. So I mean, it wasn't like he was just out there lighting it up. It was just like, why? Why do I need to? He literally said, I feel like a kid that didn't do anything on the project and still got an A.
Exactly.
So I think Tua would love to do the same thing because Tua's not mobile, like you said, T. He's not trying to create with his legs. He's just a guy that's like, let me get my deep drop and just bombs away. That's what they want to do, which plays into our strength, but at the same time, you have to make them convert to that. Mike McDaniel had to watch that game last week and said, hey, we got to take advantage of the run game.
Hey, he's no dummy, bro.
He's not.
He's no dummy. So I guarantee you, he watched tape. He knows what our weaknesses are.
Yeah.
And it's
let me ask you this. Who's got the coaching advantage this week? Cowboys, head coaching advantage, Cowboys or Dolphins?
Dolphins.
I'm gonna go with McCarthy.
Okay, I'll go with McCarthy, just because he knows how to get his guys fired up. The last time we've gone back-to-back losses with this team, I can't even remember, honestly. So Dak usually has a phenomenal bounce back game after a loss. So that's what we're looking for. And something I'll leave you guys with before we go ahead and make our predictions. If the defense looks bad again this week, does the hot seat light up for Dan Quinn?
No, absolutely not.
I don't think so. No.
Look, at some point you gotta. My bad, Julio. At some point you gotta hold the players accountable. Okay, it's the players too. It's not Dan Quinn. It's the players.
But you have to.
Dan Quinn can't play on the field.
Dan Quinn's putting these players on the field.
That's fine.
Dan Quinn's the one that's saying, "Hey, let's use hybrid safety linebackers." That's his thing. That's his.
That's
jam.
fine. That's fine. But that's not the only problem on our defense. That's a big part of it. A lot of it is people getting burnt.
That's defense.
I know. That's what I'm saying. People getting burnt.
But that's what I'm saying is that are you getting burned? Are you out of position? Are you playing?
Do you not know the plays? Do you not know the plays?
That goes to coaching. That's not just the players. That's what I'm saying. So everybody gave me their answer. What about UT? Is if the defense looks bad again against Miami now, should the hot seat get lit up for Dan Quinn?
Nah, bro.
No?
Nah. Bro, Dan Quinn been a godsend for the defense, bro. He drafted
Agreed.
Bro, you gotta think, bro. We got players that's playing out of position. And it's not Dan Quinn's fault, it's injury. I mean, for that matter, we can blame Jerry for not going out in free agency or trying to pick up somebody that we could have used.
Yeah, but you're not going to put the hot seat on Jerry. Jerry's not going anywhere.
I mean, you can put the hot seat on Jerry.
You can. You can.
It don't mean that he gonna go nowhere. But Dan Quinn doesn't deserve to be on the hot seat, bro, for a 3 game stretch of bad defense when you have a how 3 seasons worth of great defense. So
But here's my rebuttal to that is it seems like we have a handful of these kind of games every year where the defense just same as last year started out all world and ended up in complete shambles. We're having that again. Started out all world, we're fizzling out here at the end.
It's a long season.
To me, Dan Quinn gets a pass week in and week out. Everybody wants to blame Mike McCarthy because he's the head coach, and the head coach gets all the grief. But to me, Dan Quinn needs to.
So
I know he's a football guy and he's a players coach. But at what point do you hold him accountable and say, "Hey, this is not working"? It feels like we don't scheme team to team. We just play our defense and we're just going to roll the same defense out every week. And we're not going to do anything different. We're just going to play this defense. And if we succeed, we succeed. And if we don't, we don't.
bro, weren't you the person that said every year around this time, Micah kind of dwindles, right? Didn't you say that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, is that Dan Quinn's fault?
I mean, I can't speak to it, but that's what I'm saying.
Valid point, T. Valid point.
You're gonna say if Micah fizzles, the whole defense is done.
No, that's not what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying that you're saying that the defense playing bad is Dan Quinn's fault. That's just like me telling you, I think it was 2 years ago that Dak playing bad was Jason Garrett's fault. You told me at some point you got to put it on Dak. Like, don't move the goalposts, bro.
I'm not moving the goalposts.
It's not Dan Quinn's fault that the defense is playing bad. It's his fault that we drafted hybrid players potentially, or it could just be that Jerry drafted the fucking players that he wanted. Or gave Dan Quinn a list and said, "We looking at these guys. This is who you need to choose from." But at the end of the day,
Mozzie Smith was a Dan Quinn guy. Sam Williams was a Dan Quinn guy.
Bro, Sam Williams has not been a bad player other than the 2 dumbass penalties he had.
That's what he's known for here in Dallas. His stupid ass penalties. That's what I'm telling you is. When do you hold Dan Quinn accountable? I at this point, what I'm seeing, I wouldn't want him as my next head coach.
I mean, bro, I don't.
I can remember a time when I was like, I wouldn't mind if Dan Quinn was the next head coach here. At this point, I'm like, nah, I don't want him here. Like, I'd rather bring in another defensive guy. If the defense is going to continue to play hybrid ball like this, and it's going to continue to try to recreate the Legion of Boom when they were successful, I mean, that was lightning in a bottle, in my opinion. And he's trying to recapture that here in Dallas. We don't have the size, the talent. It's not the same thing, but that's what he made his hay on, and now we're trying to recreate that. It's not the same. Like, Dan Quinn, change something up. Like, we're just running our stuff and we're like, well, if y'all beat us against our defense,
but I don't
y'all were just better. It's like, no, fam, scheme.
Bro, we weren't having these conversations like any other years prior to right now. So I don't think Dan Quinn deserves to be on the hot seat for.
But it's every year. That's what I'm saying. He's always gotten the pass. When do you start saying, hey, maybe Dan Quinn should be looked at?
But bro, you know what? I'll let you have that, bro. I'll let you have
For me, it's when you have a premier defense, when you take a defense that was struggling before Dan Quinn got here, and then you see the turnaround. Again, we've been leading the league in pass rushing. We've been leading the league in all these different categories. Yes.
And what does that look like in the playoffs?
It doesn't. Again, and I'm not saying that it speaks volumes to why he should stay here, right? But from what he's done, what he's turned his defense into, from where it was to where it is now, I don't think it validates. I think a lot of it has to do with what you talked about earlier. You know, holding players accountable, people not remaining disciplined. I mean, we've seen it week in and week out. We've seen the mistakes, the single player mistakes where this person missed an assignment or this person didn't stay in his lane to make sure that block was sealed or whatever the case may be. You see all those things and you can't necessarily go, oh, well, it's the defensive coordinator's fault because he didn't give them the proper game plan. Sometimes the game plan is there, but if you don't, as a player, execute, then at the same time, if we give you a great game plan and say, hey, you can go out here and do your job, and you're not doing your job, you're gonna have games like we did last week.
I agree,
Bro,
but
and the
what does
backups are
T
not
say?
gonna be the backups are not gonna be as good as the starters, bro. Think about all the backups we got out there this year.
T will tell you the same thing. You're either coaching it or you
Coaching it,
don't care.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like you coaching it or teaching it, bro. One or the other. Like you allowing that shit to happen in practice. The Sam Williams stuff, you right. He has been known for fucking up, for lack of a better phrase. But
Yeah.
in totality, bro, in the grand scheme of things, solely for this year, I think that, bro, he's been ravished by injuries. Trayvon Diggs, Van Der Esch, Jonathan
Mhm.
Hankins. If somebody else got hurt, I can't think of their name, but bro, we got a bunch of backups that are filling in starting roles when they had other roles. So even Deron Bland, bro, Deron Bland looked good when we didn't really know who he was. You know what I'm saying? Then he went out there and got cooked by DK.
Hmm.
So, and that's
And
not to
since
say that he's
then,
a
what has he
bad.
done? Yeah.
That's not to say that he's a bad corner. That's
Right.
just to say that you can see. I don't think that Trayvon Diggs would have got cooked like that. You know
There's
what I'm saying?
levels. There's
Yeah, like
levels to this.
just like we talking about the linebacker. As much as I don't like Van Der Esch has played great in this scheme. Who else on the team is as big as Van Der Esch,
No one.
with that same size, as fast as Van Der Esch,
No one.
Nobody.
who understands the defense from a middle linebacker perspective, like Van Der Esch?
No
Can
Nobody.
you
one.
tell me who our middle linebacker is?
You know who I you know what I thought
It's
Bell
Marquise
was?
Bell.
I thought Bell was a damn
Safety.
cornerback.
He was a safety.
He was a
He's a
safety,
safety.
fam.
Yeah.
We're doing safety linebacker hybrids. That's
No.
So,
No. Go get a real
bro,
linebacker.
but that worked when you had Van Der Esch, because Van Der Esch was the middle linebacker. We don't have a middle linebacker now, bro.
Go get one. What are we doing,
We
bro?
attempted to get
bring back Rolando
Willis,
McClain.
but nah, don't get Sean Lee out of retirement.
No.
Well, with that being said, everybody, we do want to thank you for making it to the end of this video. We hope to catch you in the next one. Until next time, please continue to like, follow, share, subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.